Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to part 30 of What If Naruto Went with Itachi. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, shares to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also go ahead and check out What If Naruto Was an Osusuke part 22, and I also posted on my second channel a new episode of What If Naruto Was the next stage of Sixth Path, so go ahead and enjoy it as well. And if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and click that red subscribe button and join the Anime King family and be a part of the channel. So thank you all for your support and help. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Start the intro. You can change. You satisfy the rage in me. Take away my pain. You satisfy the rage in me. Last time we left off, the girl was revealed as Yuki, and she possessed the four-tailed Jinchuriki, as Naruto told Tsunade that the old Jinchuriki are giving up their bijus and passing them down. Only one remained is Gaara and the eight-tailed, and he told Tsunade that she shouldn't tell anyone about this or something bad will happen. So, Naruto went to the Uchiha compound where he went to stay with Yuki, and Itachi and Hana had some big news. They were at the dinner table when Naruto rushed to the bathroom as Itachi saw him coughing up blood. Itachi wanted him to go to Lake Tsunade to try and fix him up, but Naruto told him, "You cannot heal what is already destroyed." So yeah, that was basically last where we left off, and you guys can go ahead and check out part 1 from the playlist if you guys are new. But if you guys are all caught up, let's get straight into it. We start this when both of them return back to the kitchen. Everyone was quiet until Naruto started to bite another fish roll and then eating some of Yuki's food again. Yuki huffed as she tried to swipe at Naruto's chopstick with hers to stop him from eating her food, but she failed miserably. Once everything went back to normal, everyone turned to Hana. "So, what is the big news that you have that we all rushed over here for?" Kiba asked. Hana then smiled. "We are pregnant," she said. "What?" Scream was heard through the entire village. A week later, Naruto stood in front of Tsunade with Sakura and Sasuke with him. They have been called in for a mission. Naruto is now able to participate in them since he had rejoined the village. He was a special Jonin. "What is the mission, old hag?" Naruto asked Tsunade, who now had a tick at her eyebrow. "Don't call me that, you brat," she yelled at him. Naruto's eyes widened and he ducked right in time. "Geez, don't get so angry," he replied. As he stood back up, Tsunade growled at him as she took her seat. "Anyway, you three are taking on a B-rank mission. It's an escort mission. It is very important, so I want you guys to make it a success. This person is a builder, and I believe that you met him once before." She then yelled for the client to enter. As the man then entered, as Team 7 turned around, as they saw the old man, he was fat, with glasses and a bottle of sake. "These are the brats that are going to get me and my grandson home?" They looked puny as those brats that protected me the first time. A boy stood next to the old man, black hair, brown eyes, with a smile on his face. They both wore clothes of bridge builders and had robes tied around their heads. That blonde over there looked weak. He doesn't even look like he can fight a paper bag. The old man then gulped as a kunai ended up in his sake jug. As he started to spill sake all over the carpet, a Tsunade growled at the waste of sake. "Watch it, old man. You know what happened last time you insulted me, don't you?" Naruto said as he looked at Kazuna with a smirk. The old man smiled and waved at him. "I do. You almost made me lose some very important parts. If your sensei did not call that kunai, I would have never be able to have kids again." The three Jonins cringed as they heard this. The old man shouldn't be even doing that at his age. Naruto and the other two shook their heads as they looked at the boy. "You got bigger, kid. Long time don't see," said Sasuke as he looked at Inari. as Sasuke ruffled his hair. Inieri scowled at him. "Don't mess up my do," he said as he tried to fix back his hair. They all chuckled as Naruto turned to look back at Tazuna. "You got the right mission ranking this time, right?" Naruto said in a calm tone. Tazuna gulped, but he nodded his head. "All that is after me is some assassination ninjas. Don't know why though, but ever since I built the Great Naruto Bridge, more and more ninjas have been after me. I have had guards around 24 hours lately, mostly from Konoha," Tazuna said as he rubbed the back of his head. Naruto blinked, surprised at the name of the bridge, as he wasn't there when they named it, but he shook it off like it was nothing. "Alright, we will make sure that you're not injured. Back to your home then," said Naruto as he turned to Tsunade. "We will complete this mission in no time," he said as he started to walk away, telling his team to meet up at the gate in 3 hours ready to go, including Tazuna. After a couple of hours, they took the triangle form for this mission. Naruto was at the front, as the other two were behind Tazuna, leading them back to Wave. They walk and talk, talking about what happened over the past few years, telling each other stories and just catching up. As they came to a path in the road, one of them led to Wave and the other one led to the Rock Country. As they headed to Wave, they were quiet after that, until Naruto stopped about 50 miles away from Wave. "We're being watched," he said, as he pulled out his katana that was strapped on his back. Sasuke pulled out his blade as well. Several seconds went by that was full with tense silence. Sasuke had his blade out along with Naruto, and Sakura was prepared as she tightened her gloves to protect the bridge builder. Suddenly, they were surrounded by 5 mist rogue ninjas. The scratch mark on their protective forehead identified them as much. "Hand over the old man, and we will let you go unarmed," a man with brown hair that was long and held in a ponytail ordered. He wore a black t-shirt and black shorts. He was average looking and didn't look like he posed a threat. Naruto looked at the other 4. 2 were women and the other 2 were males. Naruto shook his head as he made a hand sign. "I will take the idiot in front and you guys take the others," Naruto said. They nodded and went to do their jobs. Naruto made a few clones to surround Tazuna and Inieri, protecting them from the clones. "Can I ask your name at least?" Naruto asked as he looked at the brown-haired man, his blue eyes clashing with brown. Naruto then noticed that the man blinked and his eyes turned yellow with a star in them. The man then nodded as he decided to tell Naruto his name. "My name is Inazuma," the man said. "Oh, Inazuma, let me guess, you're from the Lightning Country, right?" "That is the only place where they name people like that," Naruto said as he pointed his katana at the man. His katana had the indent of a nine-tailed fox on it, looking like it just jumped down from somewhere tall, its tails covering both sides of the sword as it fell. "My name is Naruto Uzumaki," Naruto replied as he watched the man's eyes go gold again as the iris took a star shape again, but it stayed that way this time. "You seem to have a dojutsu," Naruto said. The man chuckled and nodded. "And let me tell you, my friends and my family members call me Lightning. You can call me that from now on," the man said as he vanished in a bolt of lightning. As Naruto realized that he couldn't see him, Naruto's eyes then turned splitted red as he looked around for his opponent. He still couldn't see him. Naruto growled in irritation, but then calmed down. He closed his eyes and listened closely. As he then opened all of his other senses, he paid close attention to the smell and sounds. Naruto caught the footsteps creeping up behind him, but before he could turn around and block the attack, he felt pain in his side. Naruto opened his eyes as he looked at his left side and saw a burned gash in it. He growled as he closed his eyes again and listened again. But before he could do anything, he was hurt again. His chest, his arms were cut. "Naruto, where's the leader?" As Sasuke looked around for Lightning, as he was the only one left. "Sasuke, use your Sharingan," said Naruto Sasuke blinked in surprise. What the hell are you talking about? My Sharingan was destroyed by Itachi, remember? Said Sasuke, as Naruto looked confused. No, it wasn't. I have been researching, and I found out that it wasn't destroyed, Naruto said as he was hit across the face by another blinding flash. Naruto yelled in pain as he clutched his face as a burning sensation impacted him. Naruto! He could hear his teammates yell as he dropped to the ground. They all ran to his side to help him. Naruto waved them off as he yelled at Sasuke. Activate it, Sasuke! I know you can do it, Naruto shouted as he was stabbed right through the stomach. Even coughed up blood. Sasuke watched as Naruto was stabbed in the stomach by a long rod that lightning was coursing off of, as he yelled in pain and anger as he saw another rod pierce right through Naruto's shoulder as his eyes started to change. But they didn't turn red though. They turned to a pure white color, and the black comers that were in his eyes were now red with a pure white around it. His chakra rocketed as he dashed forward as he could see perfectly everything was at his view. He raced behind the man who stood behind Naruto, who was preparing to stab Naruto with another rod right in his head. Sasuke quickly pulled out his sword and ran it through the man's chest before he could hit Naruto in the head. Impossible! How? The man muttered as blood leaked out of his mouth. He whispered as he looked around and saw Sasuke's eyes. He saw the totem and whispered, Uchiha, before he slumped over dead. Sasuke panted as his eyes returned back to normal as he looked around to see Tazuna and Inari were being checked on by Sakura. Meanwhile, Naruto was in front of him. You did it, Sasuke, Naruto whispered as he looked up at his friend. You activate the new Sharingan. With that, Naruto's eyes closed and his breathing started to slow down of a sleeping man as red chakra started seeping out of him to heal his wounds. But they were healing slowly though, as Sasuke noticed that. This isn't good, Sasuke said, as he noticed that Naruto was bleeding a lot. Even though the wounds were being healed, they were healing slowly. As he then noticed that Naruto's breathing started to slow even more. His skin even turned pale, like he was about to die. Damn it, Sasuke said, as he realized what was going on. He quickly grabbed Naruto by his shoulders and yelled for Sakura to come quickly. As soon as she saw Naruto's condition, she rushed over. She quickly laid him on the ground and cut his shirt open. She worked with the demonic chakra in Naruto and moved it around, connecting back Naruto's muscles, repairing organs, keeping his heart beating as she stopped the bleeding. His skin then returned back to normal as his breathing returned back, as she gave him a plasma pill as he chewed it and then swallowed. As his eye then opened, as he put on a smile on his face. Let's finish the mission, he said, as he tore off the remaining shirt and zipped up the vest and hiding his still covered blood chest. We need to get going before we're attacked again, Naruto said as he moved forward, using Sasuke as support. We can finish this mission, then we will go home and relax, Naruto said as the group continued to walk. Back at the Leaf Village, Itachi watched as Kisame moved around as he tried to tidy things for Hana, who was already on a hormonal rampage. Kisame, who had been sitting around and eating a sandwich, had crumbs fall on the couch. Hana had found out and began to beat him senseless until he cleaned the entire house. So Kisame was running around the house vacuuming, cleaning, mopping. Itachi got out of the way as Hana inspected everything, making sure that it was up to her standards. Itachi chuckled as he watched Kisame going over the furniture for the 6th time that day, as he couldn't help but laugh. But suddenly, his head started to hurt him as he remembered Naruto was in the bathroom puking up blood, as he knew that Naruto doesn't have a lot of time left, as he already told him that Tsunade cannot do anything about it. Back with Naruto, Naruto looked at Sasuke as he was examining the new Sharingan. This is amazing. Around it is white, and the commas are crimson red. This is advancing power, and the visual use must be better than a normal Sharingan. Naruto had Sasuke follow with his finger, as Naruto noticed that Sasuke's eyes was a little bit ahead, like he was seeing the future. "Yep, you're definitely way ahead of my finger," said Naruto, as he pulled out a kunai. As he stepped back a bit, "Try and counter this," he said, as he threw the kunai as Sasuke's eyes were on it instantly. As Sasuke threw his own kunai, knocking away Naruto's kunai as it embedded itself into a tree. "Well," said Naruto, "we will have to train you in it. It looks like you can predict where it is going. It looks like your one Sharingan isn't destroyed, but it was just improved," said Naruto. Naruto said as he walked over to Sasuke and patted him on the back. As Sasuke smiled and deactivated his Sharingan, Sakura then put a finger to her chin. "I think that we should give it a name." Naruto and Sasuke both stared at her in confusion. "Name? What?" Sasuke asked as he looked at Sakura, who was smiling at her teammates. "Your new Sharingan, of course," she said happily. "Alright," said Sasuke. "What should we call it?" he said as he looked at the other two. "Why should we help name it? It is your Sharingan, not ours," Naruto said as he crossed his arms. Sasuke smiled at him. "Because you helped me unlock it. You helped me gain what I had lost. Thank you, Naruto. You gave me more than these eyes," Sasuke said as a few tears started to come in the corner of his eyes. They didn't spill, but they were close. Naruto smiled as he went over and stepped up to his friend. As he grabbed Sakura's hand and brought her closer into the circle. "We gave you a family again," he said, as all of them smiled, as all of them embraced each other in one big group hug. Naruto smiled as he let go and Sakura stepped back. "Let's go home," Sakura said as she led the way back towards Tazuna to get their stuff and leave. Back at Konoha, Itachi sat in Tsunade's office. He was going to talk to Tsunade finally. It was about Naruto and he was going to tell her about that night. He tapped his fingers on the side of the chair waiting. Shizune had said that Tsunade had gone out a while ago. He frowned as he looked at the huge pile of paperwork that was stocked up. But he sat there waiting for Tsunade to enter back the office. Back with the trio, they were walking home, Naruto in front, Sakura just a bit behind him. While Sasuke was walking behind them, he smiled at the happy couple. He was glad that Naruto found someone to be happy with. As he smirked as he thought about Karin, who he had waiting for him at home. He was snapped out of his thoughts though, as he heard coughing. He looked ahead as he saw Naruto bent over, coughing. He looked as he saw Sakura rub his back. As he saw Naruto do something he never saw Naruto did in his lifetime. As he watched Naruto puked up lots of blood. As Sakura's hands went glowing green as she checked over Naruto. As she had a worried look on her face as she turned to Sasuke. "His internal system is destroyed," she said, as Sasuke couldn't help it but feel pain. As tears ran down his face for the second time that day, Sakura was crying as well, both listening to Naruto throwing up. Few days later, Tsunade sat in her chair as she was watching the door, waiting for Team 7 to arrive, as she thought about the conversation she and Itachi had back. As Itachi told her about Naruto's medical condition, as she couldn't believe it. "The boy should have told me when he had the chance," she shouted as she bit on her nail. As soon as he returned, she was going to do her best, she thought to herself. She sighed as she placed her head on her desk and relaxed as much as she could. Suddenly, someone barged into her office as she looked up to see a sweating and panting Sasuke. His face was pale and there was blood splashed all over him. Her own face turned pale as she looked at him. "What happened?" Tsunade asked as she stood up and ran towards him. "Naruto, hospital, now," said Sasuke as Tsunade ran behind Sasuke as the both of them went as fast as they could to the hospital. When they arrived, Tsunade swore that she almost started getting her hemophobia again about blood. Blood was everywhere, as the sound of people in pain, coughing and everything could be heard. I need help in here. Now, said Sakura, as Tsunade reacted instantly. As she rushed in to see Naruto on the bed, he was puking out a lot of blood and shaking. Sakura looked at Tsunade as pure tears were full in her face. Help me, Tsunade, I cannot heal him on my own, said Sakura as she pushed chakra to her hands to do her best. Tsunade nodded as she went in to help. If you die on me, Naruto, I will bring you back to life and kill you myself, Tsunade thought, as she used her medical ninjutsu to get a picture of Naruto's inner body. She stopped suddenly though, as she saw the damage of his insides. Tears fell down her face as she stopped. As Sakura turned at her, Tsunade, what are you doing? Said Sakura, as Tsunade couldn't speak at the moment. But guys, I'm gonna be ending this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember to share to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also go ahead and check out What If Naruto was on Sasuke. And also, What If Naruto was the next stage of 6th Path on my second channel. I post a new episode for you guys to enjoy. And I will soon be taking What If suggestions. So guys, just remember to stay in tune and enjoy yourself. But for now, I'm out. Peace.